The sport of boxing now has a new #1 pound-for-pound fighter and the 2023 Fighter of the Year. Yeah, Naoya Inoue has now become a 2-division undisputed champion. He is the second man in the sport of boxing to do it. Although it was very hard to get up that early in the morning, Naoya Inoue did not disappoint with his performance. During the fight, I actually only gave Marlon Tapales like 1 round out of the 10. Hey, but I'll give Marlon Tapales credit. He did not come to just lay down. He was actually trying to fight, although he wasn't winning like any rounds. So getting dropped in the 4th, he continued to fight all the way to the 10th round. She actually lasted longer than the slick American fighter that everyone was hyping up, which is actually very embarrassing because for Stephen Fulton, they were hyping him up saying that Inoue shouldn't be taken serious because he's never faced an American fighter and that Stephen Fulton was the one that was going to embarrass him. So Paulus, a lot of people were calling that he was going to get knocked out very early. He actually lasted longer than Steph. Bro, that's embarrassing.
You don't know shit about boxing.
On my list and a lot of other people that do have a brain, Naoya Inoue is now the new #1 pound-for-pound fighter, taking that spot from Bud. Obviously, without any bias, knowing the facts, Naoya Inoue has beaten or taken more belts from more champions than Terrence Crawford. Now a 2-time undisputed champion just like Terrence Crawford, but unlike Terrence Crawford, Naoya Inoue is a 4-division world champion, where Terrence Crawford is only a 3-division world champion.
It is what it is.
The thing is that even with all those facts stated right there is still a group of people that think that only an American fighter should be #1, or just because they don't know anybody on Inoue's resume because they don't watch boxing, all they do is watch their favorite fighter, then like to talk about the sport like if they know anything about it. They would try to find any little way to criticize Naoya Inoue. We're gonna be trying to deny that he is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter, where Naoya Inoue is actually going out and fighting the best, taking no tune-ups between each fight. Like you see, he fought Stephen Fulton and went straight into another fight against another unified champion at a weight class he just got to. Naoya Inoue does not go on IG live and try to trash talk or bash fighters. He doesn't tweet or throw shots at anybody, he just fights. Inoue doesn't make any excuses on why he's not fighting this fighter or that fighter like these Americans. People like to bash Inoue, but then they like to praise guys like Gervonta Davis. When he moved up to 140, he did not take on the top dogs at 140. He fought Mario Barrios, which back then Josh Taylor was actually the top dog at 140, but I didn't really see anybody criticizing Gervonta Davis for that. Obviously, now that Naoya Inoue is being talked about a lot of people that have connections to Gervonta Davis or that, you know, are fans of him or are part of his team, and his fans are gonna start talking about a potential fight between Gervonta Davis and Naoya Inoue. Hey, look at this. This is from the Rise podcast. It says, would this be the fight of the century? King Kong versus Godzilla, USA versus Japan on American soil. Now, how huge would this fight be? Who wins? This is just straight up embarrassing to me. Like, I don't know why these people are even hyping this fight up when the fights they should be talking about should be Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson or versus Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, any of those guys at those weight classes. Not a guy who's like 3 divisions lower than him. But when Gervonta Davis gets called out by a 140 pounder like Devin Haney, his fans and a lot of people around him start throwing out that he's a 135 pounder, he's a lightweight, then start promoting things like this. Like, this is straight clown activity.
He's a pussy, that's why.
Naoya Inoue is out here making history while Gervonta Davis is only focused on money. Naoya Inoue is out here wiping out divisions, and while Gervonta Davis hasn't faced anybody that's at his level, has a bunch of guys calling him out, but he's not gonna fight them.
You fight with nobody.
Michael Benson tweeted out, Naoya Inoue has confirmed that he is in negotiations to defend his undisputed WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO Super Bantamweight World titles in May. Now the rumored fighter is his mandatory challenger, Luis Neri, by the WBC, which Luis Neri is actually banned from Japan after his fight against Shinsuke Yamanaka all the way back in 2017, and then came in overweight for the rematch in 2018. Japan just had enough and they straight up banned this guy. I wouldn't actually be mad for a fight against Luis Neri, but once again, this is another former world champion. This was one of the guys that was ruling at 122. A lot of other corny channels wouldn't know this because they don't watch boxing, but before the Tapales fight, I was hearing this rumor. I actually thought the fight would take place in the US because he was banned from Japan. This tweet from Luis Neri himself has confirmed where the fight's gonna be taking place. He said, see you in Japan. I think this is a great fight to have in Japan, to be honest. Like, he's gonna get revenge for Yamanaka. I know after Luis Neri we got guys like MJ Akhmadaliev, but once again, I wouldn't actually mind a fight against Casimero and shutting up that guy for good.
Inoue, you are a monster? Motherfucker? No, you are no monster. You are a Japanese turtle. No monster, man. Inoue scared me. Fuck, motherfucker. Come on.
I love you, Mommy.
Right as I'm about to edit this video, Gervonta Davis gets the message.